Cowboy Roundup, Dak Prescott Stat Projections, Time to Panic? If you haven't heard by now, Dak Prescott is entering the final year of his contract and will be a free agent after the season if a long-term deal with Dallas is not reached. Prescott will suit up with or without a deal, and we now know what the odds makers expect from the 2023 NFL MVP runner-up, thanks to the Cowboys wire. The over/unders were set for passing yards, touchdowns, and interceptions, and they are very interesting, to say the least. Is it time come for Cowboys to worry about their stars? Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, right, and son Stephen Jones, left. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, right, and son Stephen Jones, left. The Dallas Cowboys are preparing for training camp with plenty of questions hanging over the franchise. Because of the Jones family's wait-and-see approach, the team needs to figure out what direction to go with contract extensions for Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons. Lamb is expected to be a training camp holdout, while Prescott will hit the open market if a deal is not reached before the end of the season. Parsons, meanwhile, has taken a more team-friendly, patient approach. Each player is handling their contract situation differently, but the Cowboys need to act fast. So far, they have shown no urgency, so is it time to panic? Blogging the Boys takes a look. Cowboys news: Dallas needs to replenish its under-25 talent according to ESPN. An NFL team is only as good as their weakest unit, and prolonged success is only possible when each unit has a strong base with depth to support it. In Dallas, the mantra has always been about drafting well so that the front office can reward their own with second contracts, and there's a pipeline of successors who give the brass the option to move on when warranted without missing a beat. This has led to the Cowboys consistently ranking highly in the talent under 25 metric, but not so much in 2024. After ranking second in 2023, the gluttony of talent has aged out, and Dallas hasn't refilled the coffers. In ESPN Plus's ranking by Aaron Schatz, they come in ranked number 21, in the bottom third of the league. Dallas' fall from the top of this ranking has to do with its stars graduating out of our under-25 requirement. Young talent in Dallas now starts on the offensive line with 23-year-old Smith at left guard, first-round pick Tyler Guyton at left tackle and third-round pick Cooper Beebe, who could win the center job over Brock Hoffman. Then we go to the defensive side of the ball. Damone Clark has matured into a starting linebacker and just turned 24. However, he could lose his job this year to 2023 third-round pick DeMarvion Overshown, who will be 24. Nose tackle Motzie Smith is still 23, the same age as rookie edge rusher Marshawn Kneeland. And yes, we also gave the Cowboys credit for backup quarterback Trey Lance. The third overall pick from 2021 came into the league very young and is just 24. How he got here: the Cowboys have made a habit out of finding impactful undrafted free agents going back to the early days of the franchise with players like Drew Pearson and Everson Walls all the way to the 2023 class that saw TJ Bass and Hunter Luepke make the 53-man roster. Imani Johnson will look to be the next to find a role after the Cowboys made a move to grab the University of Nevada product after April's draft to secure his signing over offers from the Cardinals and Ravens. What's next? While the depth of the safety room does have young talent looking to take the next step in players like Marquise Bell and Wanya Thomas, there is still an opportunity for Johnson to separate himself with his run-stop ability and his versatility in the box as a hard-hitting safety. His 6'2", 218-pound frame shows up on his college film in a physical nature, meaning you may want to keep your eye on number 39 making a big hit or two in the preseason if given the opportunity. At the very least, Johnson will factor into the new kickoff rules with his short-range physicality and ability to chase down ball carriers. Did you know, after graduating from Nevada, Johnson spent his pre-draft workout season working in Fort Worth, which he says was a big reason why he decided to sign with the Cowboys over other offers. Quotable: I do believe I have the same opportunity as everybody else to a certain extent, but I definitely do still have a chip on my shoulder. I do think I should have been drafted, but I had one good year and I still have a lot to prove by having just that one good year. I'm going to prove it this year by getting on that 53. Imani Johnson on going undrafted. CeeDee Lamb has gradually taken his game to the next level in each of his first 4 seasons as his receptions, yards, and touchdowns have taken an uptick every year. It culminated in the former 4th-round pick having a season for the ages with 135 receptions for 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns while leading the NFL in targets. For any receiver to put up those types of numbers, he has to be able to perform against a multitude of coverages. However, there was one in particular that Lamb was dominant lining up against last season. He was named the top receiver in the NFL against versus man coverage in 2023 per Pro Football Focus. 1. CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys, 94.1. No receiver was targeted more in 2023 than CeeDee Lamb, 197. He faced single coverage on 35.3% of his targets against man coverage, the 3rd highest rate in the league, and dominated on his way to the best passer rating when targeted, 150.4. Lamb led the position in catches, 49, yards, 810, touchdowns, 7, missed tackles forced, 10, and first downs gained, 37, against man coverage. He secured 5 contested targets, averaged 7.2 yards after the catch and finished second in yards per route run, 4.35. Lamb continued to show his incredible versatility last season as well. He lined up on the outside for 282 snaps and 385 in the slot per PFF. Slot guys are typically facing a team's 3rd cornerback, and with Lamb being a top 5 player at the receiver position, those are more than favorable matchups for him with his savvy and route running, especially if it's in man coverage. Being able to move Lamb around so much certainly helps him get some more man coverage looks. As the numbers prove, he's not only a guy that moves the chains while seeing man coverage, but he gets the ball in the end zone as well. This will be the 2nd year of head coach Mike McCarthy running the show as the primary offensive play caller in Dallas. So, expect more of the same from Lamb against this coverage if not more in 2024 with more comfort in the system. The star edge rusher is arguably the best defensive player in the NFL, and he expects to be the highest-paid non-quarterback when he inks a new deal. However, he is willing to wait his turn. Parsons previously discussed his approach to the offseason and said, "Patience is a virtue." The 3-time All-Pro told the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, "I'm patient. Patience is a virtue. I'm waiting my turn. Let CD go get whatever. Let Dak get whatever. I kind of know where the money is. It's not like I see the Cowboys with $90 million in cap space." He skipped OTAs and a mandatory minicamp but is expected to be ready for training camp in late July. Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk, however, has a different take. Florio believes Parsons should be a training camp holdout and stand his ground until a new deal is reached. Parsons is set to make $2.989 million in 2024, well below his actual value. He should pull an Ezekiel Elliott and not show up from training camp until he gets what he deserves. The fact that he plays a position that carries a higher inherent injury risk makes it more important that he take a stand, Florio writes. This isn't about waiting your turn. This is about getting what's yours. Parsons deserves the generational payday his talents and accomplishments have earned. Cowboys predicted to add elite talent college RB in 2025. The Dallas Cowboys RB group has seen significant turnover over the past 2 years, and that trend could continue into the foreseeable future. Dallas brought Ezekiel Elliott back into the fray this offseason, but also signed veteran RB Royce Freeman. But in terms of moves after this season, ESPN analyst Matt Miller wrote that the team will look for a young star to lead the group, RB Quinshon Judkins. Judkins has been a standout for Ole Miss but is expected to be a national star for Ohio State in 2024. We're back to running backs in the first round. Miller wrote in his July 2 early mock draft. Judkins has elite talent, and Dallas ignored the position throughout this offseason beyond a reunion with 29-year-old Ezekiel Elliott. Judkins rushed for 2,725 yards and scored 31 rushing touchdowns over 2 years with Ole Miss before transferring to Ohio State. He will share carries with Travion Henderson there, but the new Buckeye has Heisman-level talent and the burst and balance to be a great NFL running back. Judkins is an exciting player, and should only get better in his new role with Ohio State. Considering that there are no apparent long-term leaders in the Cowboys RB group, selecting Judkins makes sense. What to know about Quinshon Judkins? Through 2 years of college ball, Judkins looks like the full package. The college junior is not just putting up high-volume stats, but he's averaging 5 yards a carry while doing so. According to Sports Reference, Judkins totaled 1,567 rushing yards as a freshman in 2022. He then followed up with 1,158 rushing yards in 2023. His drop in total yards correlated to Ole Miss leaning into its passing offense and QB Jackson Dart. But what has not wavered is Judkins' nose for the end zone. After 17 touchdowns for the Rebels in 2022, the 20-year-old added another 17 last fall. By transferring to Ohio State, Judkins will be joining a school in the front-running for a national championship. The only thing missing from the RB's resume is a conference and national trophy, and there's reason to think he'll obtain those with the Buckeyes. Judkins is an option for the 2025 NFL Draft, but the Cowboys could still add reinforcements before the 2024 season. Bleacher Report writer for Christopher Knox, signing Dalvin Cook seems like the right move for Dallas. Adding another back to the mix would be sensible because if the offense doesn't have balance, Prescott is going to face a lot of pressure, Knox wrote on June 24. It would behoove the Cowboys to at least kick the tires on Dalvin Cook. The 4-time Pro Bowler appeared to lose a step in 2022 and struggled to get on the field in 2023. If Cook is available for cheap, it's worth considering. But Spotrac estimated that Dallas was $20 million over the salary cap for this year. Even getting Cook for $2 million to $5 million this season is tough to budget considering where the Cowboys are at financially. Dallas could always make moves to open up space, but Cook or any other free agency RB probably wouldn't work.